Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm starting off today's day in the life. It is a day in the life, but it's a little bit different because it's already 10 o'clock. I've dropped the kids at school and already gone to the gym, gotten changed and ready because I'm actually going out for lunch today with a really good girlfriend and we're going to the Carlisle. So excited, my favorite hotel. I get so much inspiration from there. Like I love the architecture and design, so you guys can come along with us. In the meantime, I've just got work to do for the next couple of hours and then I'll leave to go pick her up. I need some design inspiration at the moment for an up and coming project that Adam and I have. So the Carlisle is literally my favorite hotel and I get so much inspiration, like their modern Mediterranean look. So I just want to go there and get filled with all the vibes. And obviously they've got a delicious Greek restaurant there called Hellenica. So we're going to go there for lunch and just have a girly catch up because I haven't seen her since our friendmas in December, since I've come back from the territory. So I'm really excited to catch up with her. And then I'm going to have to make up for that work later this afternoon as well for going out for lunch. Yeah, so get excited. We're going to the Carlisle for lunch. I wish I could just live there, but it's too expensive. Oh, and I'll show you what I filmed my outfit. So I'll put that in after here so you can see my full fit check. All right, guys, here is the fit check. Super easy, just a throw on dress, but it just elevates. Perfect for lunch. Need to clean this mirror. And I can eat whatever. Love it. I love it when you have a dress and you just feel put together just with one item. And it's really easy to iron. Just on my way, I just got my blood results back. And in Australia, you can actually...
Red light, camera ahead.
Oh, you can actually access them via this government app that we have before you even see your doctor. Like I got a text saying, contact your doctor, they need to have a non-urgent discussion. And I know it's about my iron, so you can access this website and it'll actually give you your results. So I just went on there earlier and oh my God, my iron is at a level 8. So just for context, it's meant to be around like basically between 50 and 200. That's a good level of iron and I'm at 8. So I definitely need an iron infusion. But I remember the worst one that I had was the first time I'd ever had needed an iron infusion, and it was sitting at 6. And I remember the doctor saying to me at the time, like, how are you functioning? And so the fact that it's at 8 makes just so much sense as to why I've just been so exhausted, like why I feel like when I wake up in the morning that I'm waking up from underneath the bed. I just called up and asked for like a back-to-back, like the doctor, and then an iron infusion booked immediately after, which they were happy to do. So I don't have that until later in the month, unfortunately, because usually it takes around 3 weeks for it to kick in properly. You know, the light is at the end of the tunnel. I know in about a month I'm not going to be as tired, and it does feel a little bit satisfying to know that the tiredness is coming from that and it's not like just because I'm old. But another cool result that I got back, which is worthwhile, this is why when you're in your 40s, like it's so important to do these testings, is the last time I did a test was actually a year ago. I was thinking it was a bit longer, but it was nearly exactly a year ago. And my cholesterol was high because of the eating keto at the time. Since then, like I've lost a good 5 kilos. So my cholesterol result is like greatly improved, and I put it into like AI, like Copilot, because I've got an AI service on my Outlook, and it was so cool. The AI was like, if this was a lifestyle change, well done, like to reduce it by I think 1.3 without medication is amazing and you should be really proud. So I'm feeling great about the cholesterol, and I'm really interested to see like the longer I go in my fitness journey, like how much better my cholesterol improves just primarily from the weight loss. They were a little bit concerned at the level, but I was like, oh, I'm eating keto, so like a lot of fat and a lot of, you know, meat and things, and that could be why. And now, but I'm eating quite well, and the fact that I've lost the weight has affected the cholesterol drastically. So I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah, so I'm on my way to pick up my girlfriend because she works not that far away from the restaurant, and yeah, and then we're gonna make our way to lunch. Okay, I'm back home. That lunch was so delicious. We ended up getting the oysters for iron and a Greek salad because it's a Greek restaurant. And they had this meat where it was like lamb and chicken together with the tzatziki. It was just delicious. And it was actually pretty well priced. I think it ended up being only like $200 for both of us. And there was a lot of food there and we both had a drink each and a Coke Zero each. So yeah, I'm feeling amazing now. But I didn't get much footage there because I was a little bit embarrassed to film in public like this. What is up with that? I don't know why this is embarrassing, whereas I can film like this, no problem. Because when I used to see other people filming like this, it's sort of giving Hello Boomer vibes. Because what content films like this? Obviously now that I'm doing YouTube, this is the best way to film on my phone, but it just feels so silly when you're at a restaurant. I'm like, oh, this is awkward, I'm not doing it. Well, that's something I've got to get over because obviously if I'm going to be doing more videos and out in public and so forth, probably could have taken my Osmo and it would have been way more incognito. And I think when we go traveling later in the year, I'll be definitely relying on the Osmo because it's so small in the hand. It's not so obvious as... I got Gabe from school, so he's all happy because it's end of the first week. He's obviously completely exhausted, so he's just having a little bit of wiggle time on the couch. But I wanted to do a little unboxing, unbagging. This is some things that I ordered from Temu. So I don't know if you've ordered from Temu before. I've only ever ordered one other thing from Temu, and it was like covers for the chairs. The chair legs to stop that screeching noise, and they're like little rubber covers. But it's giving like Amazon vibes, so I don't usually like to order from places like that, but I thought I need several things that basically Temu or Amazon would have been like the only places to collectively get them. So I thought we could do an unbagging together. What did I even... Oh, this is what I ordered. So this is a sprayable and pourable oil bottle. You know when you buy pre-done olive oil sprays, there's actually additives in there. And I saw online someone using something like this. And so you just put the olive oil in it. Oh, I'm glad it's tinted, the glass, because they say that's important. So you just put the olive oil in there, connect the hose, and then I can do my own pour or spray. I think the pour function's on the top. Oh, there we go. So it just pops up to then pour. I already have a pourer that my mother-in-law got me that I love with the sun on it. So I don't necessarily need this for the pour function, but just the spray function. So I'm going to test that out. That's cool. Forgot about that. And it was, yeah, really cheap. Oh, and I got 2 new silicone covers for my AirPod Max. The previous ones that I had was like, I had a grey and a white colour, but I really wanted a darker set. These are so great because the padding on the AirPod Max, when you sweat at the gym, it's so good to have a silicone cover of it because you can just get an antibacterial wipe and wipe it straight over. So you see here, my current one is this, and it protects the burgundy, which is like my favourite colour at the moment, and then a dark green. I love these. These are going to look so good. The other thing I got was this U-shaped electric toothbrush that I'd been seeing everywhere for Gabe. He currently has a U-shaped electric toothbrush, whereas the nozzle is just a U-shape. But I got that years ago and I cannot find it online anywhere. And when I bought it, it was off like Instagram ad and never to be seen again. And when I received it, there was like, I feel like 20 replacement heads on it. And I'm just down to my last one, I think. And I haven't been able to find a replacement. I couldn't find it anywhere on my email. You know, things just disappear. So the one that I did find was this one, and it's a cute little creature. It's got just normal heads as far as an electric toothbrush. But the thing that really interested me, this might even be too small for him because obviously they don't do them in bigger boy sizes. This is the one that I wanted. So you attach this here and you put the suds in there, and then they put it in their mouth and they can just rotate it. And it's like a way for them to learn to brush, because Gabe has a lot of trouble when he spits out the suds. Like, it's hard for him to spit out the suds. Cute. So I'll give that a go. It does have the electric heads, but they're not 360. They're not like curved, just like a normal electric toothbrush. Oh, and then they totally +1 me on this one. I've been seeing this everywhere. I don't know if you're on the same algorithm as me, you've been seeing this too. These little gua sha brushes. You know when all the rage was the gua sha, like the rose quartz one. Now the next one is this. It's like the fiber one. Where you like. So I'm going to do that tonight once I take all my makeup off. That actually looks quite cool. I think all of this was like $50 max. So these are labels for when I sell my clothes at market. That's one thing that I'm actually going to do with you guys tonight, show you how I sort my clothes to sell for market. I know this sounds totally random, but I'm doing it next week. It's the 3rd time I've done it. What it basically is women go with all their secondhand clothes, and then people pay $2 to enter, and then, yeah. I'm a strong believer in, if you are not wearing it in your wardrobe, if it's not part of your rotation, if it's not something that you reach for, you should sell it. So previously I was a huge eBay seller. I sell a lot on Facebook Marketplace, but I've discovered a market close to where I live where you go and you sell your clothes at the market. And that's been really successful for a lot of those smaller pieces that might, you know, that don't have a higher price range. They actually do have quite a good range of designer clothes there as well, and designer items, but I always find a bit more success selling those kinds of things on eBay or specialist markets. But this market is so good for, say, if I've bought a dress and I no longer wear it, or I was photographed too much in it and I want to pass it on, sell it on. This place has been so good in doing that. So I've run out of tags, so I've ordered another bunch. And you know, the key to the tag is making sure it's big enough that you can write the brand and the size and the price, but then also I love the elasticy element of this. These are the exact ones that I had before. Then you just tie it on the clothes. Yeah, I can't remember where I was up to. I just got phone call after phone call. So tonight I'm going to show you how I prep for the market and make sure my clothes are ready, because it's in a week and it's nice to be organized. So when the day rolls around, it's a smooth transition, because the hardest part is really the prep work. Once your clothes are all labeled and packed up and ready to go, that's the easy part. I always find this part the hardest anyway, so I thought I'd take you guys along with me tonight to do. And conveniently, got the labels today, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I've just got to put in a couple of hours of work. I might get into some comfy clothes and yeah, get stuck into all of this fun thing. Hey guys, come to you, vlogging from the spare bedroom. So I've had an everything shower and I'm ready to tackle part of my preparation for the market. Step 1 is make sure that you have a allocated space to do it, because sometimes it can take a little while to get prepared, but once you are prepared, it cuts down the time each time. What I mean by that is if you do it in your spare room or your laundry room, somewhere where you're not sleeping, then if you decide to give up halfway and continue it the next day, then you don't have to clean everything off. Oh, and another tip is make sure you have a rack. So you can get them from Kmart for like 10 bucks, but it just makes it so much easier when you're organizing the clothes and the items to have them on a rack, similar to what it will be like when you sell it at the market. So I'm gonna go get my rack. Can't believe that just happened. Just went down to get some water and I had a pot soaking full of the meatball residue that we had for dinner last night, and it just went pfft everywhere, hence the changed shirt. Anyway, we continue on. Okay, so here's my $10 Kmart rack, and I usually leave it in my room near the wardrobe, so then if there's something that I'm like not feeling, I don't think I'm going to wear this again, I'll just chuck it on there, because I'm trying to do a market every 2 to 3 months. 2 Daughters of India dresses, I just never wear them anymore. And I know there's a lot of people that would that love this style. So they're on there, and then a business shirt. And then this pile of clothes here was sitting in my cupboard in the Northern Territory doing nothing, and I haven't worn any of them for years. So I'm like, they can go to market as well. But the first step that I do is get out the items that I didn't sell before. And the reason that I do that is because you only have a certain amount of items you can have on your rack. And they say 50, but honestly, I think about 60 fit. I get all the ones that I've already priced up and that have just been sitting in the cupboard, and then I count how many are there, and then I know how many extra pieces that I can sell from that. Last market I did was in November, so in Australia. That's obviously leading up to summer, and we're currently really in summer now. It's quite hot. So I did notice that hardly any of the jackets were getting looked at, because obviously it's not cold or even feeling like it's going to get cold. I only sold 1 jacket last time, and that was because the girl was traveling overseas. Because it's still summer, I'm actually only going to include maybe 1 jacket and a couple of blazers. So it's kind of crucial too to try to pick what's going to sell now, or if we were closer to the season of it getting cooler, I would definitely bring all the jackets out, but I'm just going to leave those in the cupboard this time. So if you can see, these are all already priced. That's what I mean about if you attend a market before, you kind of have some of the prep work done already. So there's already 32 items there. And I have... I've got 32 up there, and I've got an additional 16 items. So I'm already at 48. So once I've got all of these dresses on their hangers and up, I really have only got leeway to maybe add another 10, which is great. And then what I do is I go through my wardrobe. I saw this cool TikTok the other day of this stylist, her name's Roz, and she said that anything that you don't wear in the last 2 years, unless it's like a event piece, you really should consider cycling out of your wardrobe. Now for me, 2 years is a bit extreme. I usually choose the items that I'm going to sell if, 1, I've potentially gone to a really big event in it and I've had heaps of photos, so I don't want to re-wear it. Or 2, if I've gone to put it on and I've not loved how I feel in it, that is an immediate sign it needs to be sold to someone else to live its new, happier life. Okay, so for pricing, all you need are those tags. These are those ones that I got from Temu for like $9 and a Sharpie. Now, when you're pricing, you've just got to consider, a lot of the time, if it's a sort of higher end brand, and I don't mean designer, I mean like, for example, your mid of the range brands that you would pay potentially $60 to $100 per piece, when you're pricing them, definitely 50% off what you've paid. But if you've worn it a few times, then it's got to be more. And if you haven't worn it, you can price it up a little bit more, like if you've just been sitting in the cupboard or you tried it on once and just took the tags off. Now, this is completely different for designer items, and if you keep a close eye on some designer clothing, you know which ones are like potentially more sought after, and if it's still in stock in store, you can price them higher. The only thing that I think is essential is knowing that if it's an item that's no longer for sale, that potentially is years old, you really need to price accordingly, because they will not sell for the higher price point. And you've also got to think, hey, it's just sitting in my cupboard. Anything I can get really is better than it just sitting there doing nothing when you know that you're not going to wear it ever again. Okay, so once they've been priced, I usually leave them on the rack until the night before. And then what I do the night before is I pick out all the ones that are quite crinkly and I iron them. Now, when I transport the items, I put them in suitcases, so they do get a little bit crinkly, but it's nice to have them feeling fresh before they go into the case, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's kind of how simple it is. And what I'm going to do in next week's vlog is take you guys with me to the market. So you'll get to see the whole process, like the whole day. That'll be fun to take you guys along with me. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time at the market. Da 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 da.